Ron, we know the jury has been deliberating for something like 9.5 hours. And just to remind people, this is the criminal tax fraud trial, not implicating Mr. Trump personally, but his business, the Trump Organization, with the star witness here, the former CFO, Allen Weisselberg. This is all about this scheme that prosecutors allege happened, 15-year-long scheme that would basically try to compensate top executives or help these execs avoid paying a... Well, what is it?
Guilty on all counts. We have a verdict. It is guilty on all 17 counts. Just in moments ago, after about 10 hours of deliberations. And you're right, Hallie, this is a case against the Trump Corporation, two entities of the Trump Corporation. There were no named individuals. Former President Donald Trump was not named, but certainly this is his family company. This is his livelihood. This is his business. This is his reputation. This is all things Donald Trump, except him being named as a defendant in this case, you might say. And the jury decided that they were guilty. The Trump Organization was guilty of what the prosecution described as a culture of tax fraud and business record manipulation that stretched some 15 years. Essentially, what you had was the top executives of this corporation, especially Allen Weisselberg, whose name we've heard a lot, who was the chief financial officer of the Trump Corporation for many, many years. His relationship with the family stretched back generations to former President Donald Trump's father he worked with many, many years ago. He had pleaded guilty in another case to 15 counts of tax fraud, and in exchange for a shortened prison sentence, which will be about 5 months. And he testified against the Trump Corporation, saying that this was something that he did on his own. He tried not to implicate the corporation or any other individuals in his testimony, but he was not able to do that, you might argue, because the jury essentially is saying that this was not a rogue operation. This was something that was widespread throughout the company, that the company was involved in, that there were records that were fabricated to try to cover up what they were doing. Essentially, Weisselberg and others were being paid perks, luxury apartments, vehicles, tuition for his grandkids' schooling, which totaled hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and they were being paid off the books. In other words, they weren't paying taxes on this income, on these benefits. So they were essentially defrauding the IRS, defrauding New York State Department of Tax, and the taxpayers who live in all of us generally is what the charge was, to the tune of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. The company also benefited because they didn't pay payroll taxes on this revenue, you might say. So they were able to conceal and hide hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars along the way over 15 years. Now, the penalty is a fine, essentially, of $1.7 million. However, there's no jail time for any of the corporate entities. However, as we were saying a little while ago, this is part of a larger 3-year investigation of the Trump Corporation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The continuing part of this investigation focuses squarely at Donald Trump as a businessman and his business practices. There's been a lot of speculation about whether that investigation has been dormant or not. There were a couple of prosecutors who resigned earlier this year saying that they thought there was evidence, that there was adequate evidence to indict the former president. The DA here, who's been very tight-lipped and newly elected, Alvin Bragg, has said that he is continuing the investigation. He has not said that it is on or off. About earlier this week, he hired a new prosecutor who has a record of in the New York Attorney General's office of going after Donald Trump in the past, leading to speculation that this criminal investigation might be getting more energy. But again, that's speculation at this point. But the bottom line today is that the Trump Corporation has been found guilty of widespread systemic tax fraud over a long period of time, over 15 years. And the prosecution said that Donald Trump, the former president, was aware of all this and didn't say he participated in it, but essentially implicated him in this. Although, again, he has not been named in this case directly as a participant. President Trump, we've heard from him a lot on social media, saying essentially that this is a continuation of the witch hunt, that this is politically motivated, that this is a simple tax case that is just a politically motivated hit job against him again. continuing the narrative that we've heard from Trump for many, many years. But that's where we are today, guilty on all counts.